Hello, welcome to CLSP Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. So I got a question on, when I talked about the math behind Congress and what votes they really need and how they're probably going to shut down the government. So then I got asked, what does shutting down the government actually look like? And so the last time it happened was in 2018, 2019. And so we have some data to look at. And it was with the same administration, so even probably more accurate data to look at, but there's a lot. So I broke this into three parts. This is part one. Okay, let's get started. So real quick, what does the government shut down exactly? So if basically Congress is unable to pass the appropriations bill, which is what I talked about last show. In the absence of the approved appropriations bill or a continuing resolution, the government faces a shutdown due to a lack of authorized funding. Okay. What exactly shuts down? Well, during the partial shutdown of 2018-2019, the Food and Drug Administration suspended routine inspections, increased public health risk. Over 86,000 immigration court hearings were canceled. Social Security was affected. Recipients will continue to receive their Social Security and SSI checks. The SSA will provide limited services like issuing SSS cards and holding appointments for benefit applications. But it'll be limited. So and the longer that goes, the more and more limited it gets till those services are no longer rendered. Basically, Medicare and Medicaid, current Medicaid, Medicare should not be affected. Your disability insurance beneficiaries will continue to receive their benefits, assuming the shutdown lasts less than 3 months, 90 days. You'll notice that in this video, a lot of these programs are kind of 90-day. Like if the shutdown goes longer than 3 months, real stuff starts happening. Checks stop getting mailed, things of that nature. Real quick, thank you for all of the new subscribers I've been getting. It's been really great. If you wish to support this channel, we have a PayPal at CLSP Politics. All right, what happens to veteran services? I have a lot of friends in the veterans that are veterans. This goes out to my boy Joseph. All Veterans Affairs medical facilities and clinics will remain operational. Other services will be affected, as like adult education and job training. Supports for veteran-owned businesses and even assistance for homeless veterans will also be severely affected. So the medical facilities will maintain their current status, but if you're looking for new job training or to get your GED or college degree, stuff like that, then of course we have a lot of homeless veterans out there, so that they will also be directly affected. And these guys fought for us. So I have a lot of friends that are veterans. So this is kind of messed up. What other program? Oh, will remain uninterrupted during the shutdown. Okay, so these are the things. They're going to have disruptions, but they're not going to be completely shut down. So we've got national security, inpatient emergency medical care, traffic control, law enforcement, border security, disaster aid, power grid maintenance. These will have disruptions, but they will not be shut down. What other programs remain uninterrupted during the shutdown? Well, what we saw during the 2018-2019 is air traffic controllers worked without pay, causing widespread delays, and they basically didn't come into work. LaGuardia got shut down last time this happened. And they've already gone around firing a bunch of people in the FAA. Anyway, a shutdown would be a perfect storm based on all of the nonsense the Trump administration's already doing to these organizations. So it's going to be like a 1-2 punch. So I would view like what happened 2018, 2019 as like a cold, and I think we're about to have Ebola. So what happens to federal employees during the shutdown? This was interesting. Furloughed, they're prohibited from work and unpaid, and they're unpaid, required to work without pay if deemed essential, and Congress has historically approved retroactive payments for these employees. So the ones that are furloughed, there is no retroactive payment. The ones who had worked that were unpaid probably would get paid. But it's even more complicated than that. So during the shutdown, around 2 million people were employed by the federal government. 380,000 of them were furloughed, and 420,000 of them worked without pay. So we're asking 500,000 people to not pay their bills or pay rent or take care of their kids or feed their children or family, because the Trumpers have decided to make a point. I have a quote. This is the end of my part one. Keep the people's government open is not a concession to me. Keeping vital services running and hundreds of thousands of Americans on the job is not something you give to the other side. This is Barack Obama when the Republicans were threatening to shut down the government, and then, also basically same shenanigans. Republicans cannot govern. I don't know how many more times I got to say that. They cannot. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. If you want to support the work I do on this channel, feel free. It's PayPal at CLSB Politics. All right, this is part one. I got part two and part three coming up. So that'll be the next couple days. All right, you have a good one. Bye-bye.